Welcome to the NFL Wildcard weekend. Guys, we have an exciting wildcard weekend here. 6 games in total, 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, and 1 on Monday. Let's get right into it. I'll go through each game, give you my quick opinion on the game, and then I'm staying away from totals. This week is tough. There's some teaser opportunities, some totals, but like I said in earlier videos, I'm sworn off totals right now. But I will give you my lean, and then you guys can make a decision there for yourself. First game, San Francisco at home to Seattle. There's 3 divisional games this week, and potentially more divisional games set up for next week. San Francisco is 9.5, 10-point favorites. I see 10.5 at some spots. You can also buy a half a point and get it up over 10 if you like. I think that's the side to go. I think Seattle's the sharp side. I know for sure public money is on San Francisco this week. And there are 3 fairly big point spreads of over a touchdown. You expect that there's going to be a blowout somewhere in one of those 3 games. I'm not sure if it's here. It could happen. Seattle, I don't expect to score a lot of points in this game. But you also don't know what to expect from San Francisco. Rookie quarterback, first playoff start. I don't expect Kyle Shanahan will put Purdy in situations where he has to throw the ball a lot. It's going to be similar to what he's been doing the last few weeks. Simple plays, running the ball, getting McCaffrey involved early and often. I just think I have Seattle at plus 10.5. The total is also set at about 42, and I lean to the under. So typically in the playoffs, road teams are usually dogs. And if you like the road team, the under is hit majority of the time. If you like the favorite and you want to lay points, usually the over does hit. So if I'm going to play this game, I like Seattle plus the points, and I'm not going to bet the under, but I do lean the under 42. It kind of makes sense by taking a lot of points and taking the under there. I don't think Seattle's going to score a lot of points, but I'm not sure if San Francisco can light up the scoreboard and score 30 in this game. It's the temperature. It's going to be windy, rainy, cool in San Francisco. I don't think it'll be great conditions. You can take a look at the forecast for yourself. I think it's calling for a lot of rain, especially before the game. 40-mile-an-hour winds. Can't be sloppy. Pete Carroll seeing Purdy for the second time now. He's a defensive coach. You know Seattle is not going to throw the ball a lot downfield. It's going to be more, screen passes, check downs, getting Kenneth Walker involved a lot. I think a divisional game, it's going to play a little bit tighter than what people think. I understand San Francisco can definitely blow out Seattle in this game because Seattle really isn't a worthy playoff team. But I think given the matchup, it could be closer than people think. I'm taking Seattle plus 10.5. The next game, Chargers at Jacksonville. Chargers are anywhere from a 2, 2.5, 1.5 point favorite, depending on where you're looking. All week, I was liking the Chargers. Jacksonville is just one of those teams I don't bet those games because when I pick them, they lose, and when I bet against them, they win. It's a team I just can't get right. The Chargers, I like them all week, but Mike Williams is out, and Staley I don't think he's a great coach. He made another poor decision last week playing his starters. Mike Williams with a fractured back is going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. I think that's a huge loss for the Chargers, especially because they rely heavily on their pass offense, and he is one of the 2 big pieces in the receiving core for that team. Chargers, all about the pass. Jacksonville doesn't have a good pass defense, so that is concerning. I think the Chargers will be able to move the ball through the air. On the other side of the ball, the Chargers are known for their pass defense, and Jacksonville does like to pass the ball, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. Something's got to give. Like I said before, 3 divisional matchups this week, but all 6 games, these teams have played each other at some point this season. Jacksonville destroyed the Chargers earlier in the year, but that was early in the year, and the teams were very different at that time. Both quarterbacks, first playoff start, Herbert and Lawrence. But Trevor Lawrence played in pretty much a playoff game last week in a win or go home. Jacksonville didn't play that great against Tennessee. They were fortunate to come away with the win. Herbert played in a similar game last game of the season against Vegas in a crazy shootout where the Raiders came up on top. But I think here, without Williams, and I don't trust Staley all that much. It's a small lean, but it would take Jacksonville on the money line, and I like the over 47.5 here because I think both teams will be able to go up and down the field. Again, I'm not playing the total, but I would look at the over if I did. And I like Jacksonville on the money line. I kind of like them. I don't ever feel comfortable with them. I'm not a huge Jags fan. I think regardless, whoever wins this game anyway will be out next week. I think two bad coaches, but I think Staley's a little bit worse. So the both games this week with the home dog being Jacksonville and Tampa Bay, two teams that probably maybe shouldn't be in the playoffs. But I think one of them will win this week. And if I had to pick one, I would take Jacksonville. And then I look at the two road favorites at the Chargers and the Cowboys. It's hard to trust either of those teams. But if I had to trust one, I would trust Dallas a little bit more. So you kind of know where I'm going later on. So I will take Jacksonville on the money line. Not comfortable pick, but I think it's the right pick. I know they're a little bit public, but I could see why they've been playing well, especially at home. And the Chargers Mike Williams is all I needed. I feel like losing him is a big loss. I'm taking the Jags. Next game, Buffalo at Miami. I'm really not playing this game. I'm not going to play this game at all. When the line opened up at 9.5, Buffalo looked like it was a play because I didn't think Tua was going to start anyway. Even if Teddy Bridgewater played, I thought 9.5 was good. But now Skylar Thompson is playing. This line ballooned up to 13.5, 14, 14.5. I think if you get a 14, Miami is worth a look, but I can't take the Dolphins because this is the one game this week that could get really ugly. Buffalo, a lot to play for here, a lot of motivation. They're kind of all in this year after what happened the last couple years in the playoffs. So if it was under 14, I'm playing the Bills. At 14, I think it's a stay away game. Next game, Baltimore at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a 9.5 point favorite. I do like Baltimore at plus 9.5. Another, potentially a third string quarterback playing in this game. The Dolphins had theirs, and now Baltimore with Brown will probably play. I don't know if Huntley's going to play this week. And even if he does, he's not going to be 100%. But another divisional matchup. It looks like a lopsided matchup for sure. Cincinnati has been the most profitable team in the last couple of years against the spread. They continue to win ATS like over 80% of the time. You don't want to step in this team's way. I did many times during the season and got burnt every single time. But these two teams just played last week, and they're playing again. And this is the third time they're playing this season. Baltimore is going to rely on their defense, running game. I think they threw the ball last week like 40 times with a third-string quarterback. They're not going to do that again this week. They're going to try to shorten this game, similar to what Seattle has to do, run the ball. Trust Baltimore does have a good defense, and one team that Joe Burrow does struggle against through the air is Baltimore. So I think this game can stay within the number. I like Baltimore at plus 9.5. Next game is another pretty much a stay-away game for me. Giants in Minnesota. Minnesota's a 3-point favorite in a lot of spots. I just think it's a complete coin flip. These two teams just played a few weeks ago on Christmas Eve. Minnesota won in overtime by 3. I think both teams should be able to move the ball. Minnesota's defense isn't good. The Giants' defense isn't great, especially in the pass defense. Expect some points in this game. But this game could go either way. It was a field goal game last time. I expect it to be close this time. It's a pass for me. And the last game, Dallas at Tampa Bay. Again, early in the week, I did like Tampa Bay. I was looking Tampa's direction for a home dog. Tampa's very public this week. And I just think the better team, which is Dallas, finds a way to win this game. Although they look bad at some points and Dak hasn't played great, and I trust Brady over Dak. The Patriots. The Buccaneers haven't looked good all season. Even in their wins, they haven't looked all that impressive. Fortunate to get into the playoffs, losing record. Nothing about them really impresses me. I think Dallas, the better team, the better players, step up. They get the win this week. And and potentially set up another divisional matchup next week against Philadelphia. So those are my picks. I like the Seahawks plus 10.5. I like the Jags on the money line, Baltimore at plus 9.5, and I do like Dallas at minus 2.5. Those are my plays, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, join the Patreon. We had a great season, 46-30 ATS on the year. Let's keep it going into the wild card weekend.